everyone. It's day three. As you can see, it's already nighttime. I guess today was a bit cold this morning. We kind of got up to a late start, and then it just kind of rained all day long, so we didn't really get out and do much. So it's currently Sunday, so it's kind of a lazy Sunday. Also, it's my understanding that a lot of places aren't really open on Sundays. A lot of places are closed down, so it's usually kind of a lazy day for a lot of folks out in the area. So currently we are, and we just kind of got out for a little bit just to go get some dinner at a local, relatively local diner. It's in Kaiserslautern, which is again about 15 minutes away from Ramstein, where we've been at. Kaiserslautern is a pretty, there's a lot of American people here. And there's a local American diner that they have that we got a recommendation from a friend. They said it was pretty good. So we're going to go in and check it out, see if it gives us any feelings of being back home. Sam Kullman's Diner. Definitely a cool place. It's, again, like I said earlier, it's a kind of a local American diner. So it's kind of cool to go to kind of a foreign country and kind of see their take on kind of American cuisine and stuff like that. But great burgers, great American style foods. They had like some steaks and different things like that. We both grabbed a couple of burgers. I actually kind of went a little bit outside the box and got a vegetarian burger. It was actually a chickpea and onion vegetarian burger. It kind of tasted like a falafel, if you've ever had that before, but it had a nice onion flavor to it. It was really, really tasty. My brother had a blue cheeseburger, which he thought was quite tasty and flavorful, seasoned very well. So definitely pretty impressive. Kind of give you a similar style and design inside. It's kind of like a Johnny Rockets is what it kind of reminded me of. So definitely, if you were in this area and were looking for something that kind of made you kind of remind you of just some regular, kind of basic, home cooking stuff, not home cooking, but just regular American burgers and fries and that kind of deal. Definitely, this place would meet the bill for what you're looking for. Definitely, also decent drinks inside, pretty good sizes. I wasn't really aware of the different metric systems. So they usually do their drink size in milliliters. Usually when you get a beer inside of a place, it's in the States, it's 16 ounces, but out here, they do it in milliliters. So it's 0.33 liters or 0.5 liters. And I went for the 0.5, but it's actually a pretty big drink when you do that. But no issues or concerns. Service was good, but food took a little while to come out, which was definitely worth the wait. But I kind of have noticed that since we've been out here that it does take a little longer for us to get things or whatever. But they kind of have a attitude or a way of doing things where it's just kind of sit down, relax and wait. And also, they don't. It's not just traditionally like American restaurants where they come to your table, every 5 minutes or so to check on you. Usually, you got to flag the person down a little bit, not in a rude way, but they generally have a attitude of people just sit down, relax, and talk and stuff like that. And that's more of the culture. So that's just a little something to get used to, but definitely a cool experience. But I think that's all we got planned for today. I will check back with you tomorrow on what we have planned, and catch up with you then. Good morning, everyone. This is day 4 now. So we kind of took a little drive out today, about an hour, not an hour, maybe like 45 minutes northwest of Ramstein, where we currently were. And now we're in a town called Trier, which is about 25 minutes away from Luxembourg. So we're actually going to kind of tour around this area and kind of check out some local sites. There's some big cathedrals and historic buildings that are out and around the area. It's definitely a pretty cool looking place. If you can probably see behind me, there's some large older buildings and things like that that are all around. So we're going to kind of tour around and check those things out. Also, to note, the drive up was pretty awesome. It's really cool, the architecture and everything that we see as we drive up the city. It's much different than I feel like that I see when I'm in the States. It's just there's all these cool hillsides, a lot of windmills that you see as you try if you drive by, and then there's a lot of towns that are just like kind of embedded in like the sides of these hillsides and stuff like that. So I did take some shots of that, so you should be able to see all that. But really really cool, and it definitely makes for kind of an interesting drive as you're driving around. It's definitely not boring at all. So we're gonna kind of walk around, check some things out, and I'll let you know what I see. Area. As you can see from some of my earlier shots, it's kind of a big shopping plaza as you kind of walk through the main streets. There's a lot of different shops, restaurants, and different things, which is really cool, and some cool architecture, and some also a lot of nice statues and different things that are around the town. So it's a really cool area down here, a lot of cool things to see. And we happened to stop by a local German restaurant called Kartoffel. We just kind of saw it as we were coming by and just thought we'd get something to eat. And really good food. It's kind of like a cafe style place. And I kind of decided to jump in and try schnitzel for the first time. And it's kind of a popular dish here. It's basically kind of like a chicken fried steak type of dish, thin cut chicken fried steak. But I had one. It was really, really good. It was kind of a large piece with kind of cut in half, and it had two different type of sauces on it. One had a spicy pepper sauce, and the other one had like a creamy mushroom sauce on it. Really, really good. With some fried potatoes, which were nice, slightly crispy, but not too hard. And a great little side salad that they gave me that almost tasted. It was like lettuce, carrots, cabbage, and it had like a cream sauce on it. It kind of tasted almost like a coleslaw. So very, very enjoyable. But the next stop on the trip is going to be, we're going to take a look at some local, I guess they had like some Roman castles and cathedrals. So we're going to go and check those out. All right. Good morning. It is day 5. We are still hanging out in near the Ramstein area in a town called Landstuhl. You probably hear some squealing sounds in the background because there's kind of a big truck that's backing up, trying to, I guess, do a drop-off of some sort. So maybe a little bit of background noise. But again, we're in Landstuhl, which the other day we were at a place called Ancho's, I believe, on day 1. And this is in that same town. But we're at this restaurant that's or kind of like a beer garden location that's kind of on the top of a mountain to an extent. If you can kind of see the location kind of behind me, it's in a pretty cool area. It was kind of hard to get to, some winding roads and stuff like that, but has great reviews on Yelp. Good food, apparently some good beers, and kind of nice scenery that's out here. So again, we're over in Landstuhl, and we're going to take a look around this location and kind of check it out, and let you know what we think. So just finished up at Burgschanke, which is a pretty good little restaurant. It's been pretty consistent since we've been here. That I've pretty much gotten good food everywhere that I've gone. Had to eat a little bit light today. Was still a little full from the schnitzel that I had yesterday. But kind of stuck with a salad. It was just a nice kind of simple salad with egg, ham. Had a nice little Italian dressing on it. Was quite tasty, very very flavorful, in a solid portion. My brother had a kind of a heavier meal with kind of a mixed plate with sausage and like a Swedish meatball, but some sauerkraut. He said it was definitely a quite tasty, very flavorful, very savory meal. But currently, like right next door to the restaurant, there's like a big kind of 14th century castle that's like right next door to it that you can kind of walk around and do a little scenery in. So it's pretty cool. And as you can kind of see from behind me, you can kind of see a lot of the structure of the place and stuff like that, which is really, really cool. And then if you take a look, obviously in the opposite direction from me, right behind, there is an amazing view of kind of the mountainside and everything like that directly from behind me. And then off to the side of the restaurant, there is like an outstanding view where you can actually see a town that's just like down in the valley. So we're kind of up on a hill, and it's really, really cool to be able to look down. So there's actually like kind of like a patio area that's off the side. I took some shots of that, so you should be able to see. You should have seen all of that. But there's definitely a little valley down to the side where you can see, all the town and stuff like that. And you basically get to kind of sit up from everything. So it definitely would be a really, really cool place to be. Today turned out to be a really, really nice sunny day. It's still a little bit cool here. I think it's still in the upper 40s, but I would definitely say this would really be a cool place to come out and venture to and check out. Definitely if it was a little bit warmer, but even like a day like today, it's not too bad. It's definitely very, very enjoyable, and the views, you really just, not in any way, shape, or form can you beat the views that you're catching from out here. So I'll definitely check in with you as we move around the city and check out any other things. But definitely this is by far kind of one of the best spots that I've seen so far with the view, the food, the atmosphere, and everything like that. I definitely would come here again. Check you later. All right. Took a little break since our endeavors this morning over at the castle. Now it's the evening time, and we're about to grab some dinner at a place called Oscar's Irish Pub. Have pretty good reviews on Yelp. I noticed they seem to use Yelp pretty frequently as we do back in the States. So we're gonna go out and check that place out and see what they're up to over there. Done with my experience at Oscar's Irish Bar and Grill. Very cool place. Again, kind of similar to just a traditional Irish pub. Great atmosphere. A lot of people like to come out here regularly. Very friendly, crew of people. We chatted up with people for a long time. As you notice, it is currently dark outside, and when I came into the establishment, it was the daytime. So we spent quite a bit of time in here. Had some pretty good food. I still was trying to eat light again. Had a buffalo chicken salad, which the chicken was really, really good. It was like a fried chicken. I think a little different than normally you see when in American restaurants, where usually when you have the breaded, chicken, it's usually pretty thick breading. But I think they kind of do a thinner batter, kind of a thinner breading when they do theirs. So I enjoyed that quite a bit. It was a thin batter. The chicken was very, very moist. But the buffalo sauce was nice. It wasn't too spicy. Was definitely a good flavor. My brother actually had the buffalo chicken sandwich, which he said he enjoyed quite a bit. Again, a similar preparation. The chicken was about the same, but he had the sandwich and I had the salad. But again, great time. Also, something you notice from the shots that I got inside is like there's a lot of dollar bills that are strewn across the ceiling of the restaurant. So it looks like there's a lot of dollar bills and a lot of American people. Again, like the Air Force Base is probably about 15 minutes away from here. So they basically kind of sign their name on the dollar bills and they kind of post them on the ceiling of the restaurant, which is kind of a cool thing that people do around here. So definitely a cool place and somewhere that you should check out if you get a chance to get to this side of town. Oscar's Bar and Grill. Very good place. Check it out if you can. I'll see you later. Quick side note. Also in my earlier video, you noticed that I had a nice little dessert, which was a streusel, which is a popular German dish. It's basically like an apple pie with ice cream. However, this particular, the streusel is, I guess when you looked at it in the video, it may have looked something kind of like maybe like a McDonald's apple pie or something like that, right? Which is probably the closest thing that I could think of that's similar to kind of the style of it and how it's made. However, it's basically like an apple pie, but it has the crust. It's very flaky and rich, kind of like a croissant would be. So it's like having a croissant crust with a nice apple pie filling, which is a good amount of apple, not super sweet, not like a super thick filling. It's nice. It's kind of in the middle. It's decadent. It's nice and it's good. But I felt like it definitely was something that I needed to add to this video to just talk about the streusel that I had, which is really, really good. And I think at a lot of different places they probably prepared in different ways or whatever. And this was again just kind of a local neighborhood Irish pub, but the streusel I thought was really good and it was kind of a different flavor. Very, very decadent. The texture of it was very, very flaky and good for the crust that was on it. And definitely something that I would recommend that you try if you're going to different places in Germany. Definitely, taste and dabble in some streusel. I think it's something you'll love. But thank you very much. And I'll catch you on the next trip. Hello, everyone. I am back in the airport. It is day 6 of my travels, and I have come to a conclusion on my trip in Germany. At the airport, just checked my bag in. Pretty smooth process, not too bad. Heading over through security to go to my gate. Definitely a really, really enjoyable trip. Today, the weather was absolutely gorgeous. It actually was it's in the 50s right now. Not a cloud in the sky. definitely a great trip back to the airport. So I definitely really enjoyed everything. Hopefully you enjoyed kind of following me along on this trip. And if you like what you see, please like this video, and definitely subscribe to the channel. Some other upcoming, so you can see any other upcoming trips and navigations through different states and areas. So I definitely will catch you on the next excursion, and thanks for sharing this with me.